In the next 24 minutes, you will see how Fortress Business Advisory and The Effective Leader can help you create some very impressive results as your company's leader. Before starting anything new, there had better be a pretty good payback on the time and energy, right? So what would be a good payback for you? But let's not just discuss a reasonable payback for your time and energy. Let's be more aggressive than that. What is the primary ambition for your company? Since I don't know you personally, let's borrow what I have heard so many others say that their primary ambitions were. The most common word used in all of the responses is the word control. Though each defines it slightly differently, they are saying that they don't want to be consumed by their businesses. They want to spend more time with their families, traveling, and to pursue the things that give them the greatest freedom and enjoyment. So, then this begs the question, what is keeping you from having achieved this ambition already? I will once again share with you the most common response. It is that cash flow is constantly limiting what they do, and they don't have the personnel they need to allow them to be away from the company for any length of time. Does that speak to you as well? Let me address why this program is so different from any other source that you could turn to for help. It is in our 2 guarantees. First of all, affordability. We guarantee that everyone who wants to participate in this program can afford it. So please consider what you are about to see from the standpoint of, do you want it, not whether you think you can afford it. Will you do that for me? Secondly, we guarantee a high level of performance in 3 areas. First, we help you multiply your cash flow. Second, we help you grow with confidence. And third, we help you get free of the day-to-day work so you can lead more effectively. Don't our 3 promises sound remarkably similar to most business owners' primary ambitions? At the end of the presentation, you will be asked to consider if this is just sales pitch language or if you think we can really deliver on this. Since I just guaranteed that you can afford this program, let's look at the only other possibilities that might keep us from working together. To achieve your ambition of greater freedom, traveling, time with the family, and overcoming your challenge of limited cash flow and recruiting the personnel you need, could you or one of your key managers be on a phone call for 1 hour per week for the first month and then 1 hour every other week thereafter? If you answered no, I'm afraid that the rest of this presentation will be of little value. But if you answered yes to that question, we have just laid the groundwork for a very profitable relationship. I will now share with you a 3-minute video which will give you an excellent overview of our entire program. I'm Steve Meisenheimer, founder and CEO of The Effective Leader, where we train business owners to become business leaders. I bet you became a business owner for a fairly simple reason: to gain more control over your life, your income, and your future opportunities. Our business is to help you do just that. But do you find yourself frustrated, overworked, and underwhelmed by your company's performance? If so, you are not alone. Consider the skill wheel. The skill wheel explains why your business is not performing as you want it to. It has 4 components: sales, finance, operations, and marketing. These are the 4 primary disciplines of business. Most of us start businesses because we have a lot of operational or technical skill. We develop enough sales skills to sell what we do, but our sales skills are never at the level of our operational skill. We learn a bit about marketing, but seldom does it approach the level of our sales skills. We gain some financial skills, but usually just enough to get by before giving that job to someone else. It becomes easy to see why our businesses perform the way they do when we can't make the same competent decisions in all 4 primary areas of our business. This explains why business owners can't seem to plan successfully, and when they do plan, they can't seem to execute their plan successfully. But our proven program solves this crisis. In just 30 days, we trained you to become a very effective planner and decision maker in all 4 disciplines. We train you how to be very effective at executing your plans and decisions. And we train you to use these skills to get out of the day-to-day operations so you can then lead your successful business versus doing all the work. We start with what we call the control panel, which becomes the 12-month plan for your business. You can then run countless what-if scenarios to see how each future decision will impact your company's growth, profits, and cash flow. With your control panel in place, you will be able to make high-level, accurate decisions as if you had a perfectly balanced skill wheel. Our second step is to train you how to effectively execute your plans and decisions. As our trainer works with you during the first 30 days to customize your control panel, any weaknesses will be revealed. Then, you'll be introduced to specialists to assist you in filling the void in your skill sets as you begin to execute your control panel plan. The third step is our knowledge system, a 7-part, 33-session program that goes deeper into the 4 key disciplines of marketing, sales, operations, and finance, while also addressing strategy, vision and mission, and critical management principles. This complete system is designed to help you balance your skill wheel and do it fast. This is the only sure way to know that you have the skills to build the organization you need so you can have the rewards you want. Allow us to help you to accelerate the growth and profitability of your business today. Let's consider the skill wheel once again. How strong are you in each of these 4 disciplines? If you were to rate yourself in each of these disciplines, would your skill wheel look much different than this one? To ensure your success, we balance your skill wheel and we surround you with the resources required to be an effective leader. Your control panel becomes the foundation of your 12-month plan. As you saw in the video, you can play countless what-if scenarios. For instance, have you ever had a great idea, but didn't have a way of testing if you should pursue it, or if you could even afford to pursue it? You can test any of your ideas in your control panel in 5 minutes to see how they would impact your growth, profits, and cash flow. Your control panel will become one of the most powerful tools you will have in your business. We then introduce you to our specialists, who are the topical experts who will help you execute the individual parts of your control panel plan. If you are not able to execute any part of your plan, your forward progress could stall. For example, if you rated yourself lowest in finance, do you see how if you are not able to execute your financial plan, that your entire plan could fail? Finally, we introduce you to a trainer who will have a series of responsibilities. First, to make sure you have the best possible control panel plan. Second, to keep you on track as you execute your plan. I'm now going to show you a series of short videos that will push each of your skill wheel ratings to 100%. First is the sales video. Wouldn't it be nice if you could grow your business by a certain percent next year and then know exactly what to do to make that growth happen? This is how you can know that. Your control panel will become an X-ray of your company. Like never before, all of your company's vitals will be exposed and available to be managed. In the Effective Leader Sales session, you will learn the principles of how to recruit, train, monitor, compensate, and grow a successful sales force, as well as how and when to hire a sales manager. These are vital topics, and you can't afford to learn them by trial and error. Mistakes here will be some of the most costly. A good question to begin with is, what is the #1 job of your sales force? It is to hit your sales targets so your company will achieve your growth goals. Your company's monthly revenue targets are displayed on your Revenue Forecast tab. It reflects your company's growth by offering and even reflects each offering's seasonality based on prior year's trends. You can see how your company overall has grown over prior years, or in this company's case, lost ground. You can sit down with your managers and your salespeople and plan out how much growth you think the company and your people can manage. Let's say you want to focus on just growing your most profitable offering by 75%. Just put 75% here and you'll see your company's overall growth rate and your new sales forecast by month, which also considers your seasonality. Now, it is a good idea to make sure your salespeople sign off on this growth plan, since they are the ones that must make it happen. This is one of several places where your trainer will help you polish your sales management skills. What about compensating your salespeople? On the labor plan, you can play countless what-if scenarios for different ways to pay your sales team. You can pay different commission rates for different services, and you can test different salary rates to find the best blend of salary versus commission. Once you have determined the compensation plan that you're happiest with, you can then sit down with your salespeople and show them their compensation if they hit their sales goals. Now, when you help your salespeople hit their goals, the company will automatically achieve its growth goal. This will excite some and scare others, but everyone will feel your challenge as the leader. You can even show your salespeople how to maximize their compensation by maximizing their close rates, which you will track on your sales report. Every lead, presentation, and sale is tracked, and you now have what you need to train and motivate your team in ways that you've never thought of before. You will likely notice that the more input you get, the better the plan you will produce. Your trainer and our knowledge system will be a big help here as well. And of course, every possible decision can be run through your control panel to test it first. You will see like never before that every decision, especially in sales, impacts all three key measurements of your company: your sales growth, which is tracked here, your profits, which are tracked here, and your monthly cash flow, which is tracked here. Your trainer and your control panel will make sure you stay focused on the activities that drive these numbers upward. Your ability to recruit, train, monitor, compensate, and grow a successful sales force are just some of the skills that you will learn when you become an effective leader. Did you catch how the control panel strategically ties your desired growth rate with the specific activity required to achieve it? This next video is on operations. As companies grow, their profit margins tend to shrink. This is because they become less efficient as they grow. Here is how your control panel will keep that from happening in your company. Operations, or the producing of your company's offering, is where money is made or lost. You might already know when and how your organization must grow to perform increased levels of work. But how will you grow your organization in a way that achieves maximum efficiency? These are the decisions that you and your trainer will discuss and then test in your control panel. As most companies grow, they consume cash, and the owners wonder why they are struggling to pay their bills and themselves. Your job is to grow your company while creating cash. Let's say that this represents your company's organization. Last year you earned $876,000 in sales with this workforce, but you want to grow to $1 million next year. You would be able to see on your labor tab that by increasing your company's sales to $1 million, unless you increase your production staff, you will run $88,000 in overtime next year. No small company could afford that much overtime. But rather than just hiring more people right away, you and your trainer look for more strategic opportunities to lower your labor demand. What if you increased your prices by just $4 per hour? Wow! That decreases your overtime by $30,000. What if your trainer introduced you to one of our operational specialists who showed you how to increase your production efficiency by just 5%? Wow again! That drops your overtime by another $20,000. Only now should you start recruiting the needed employees to finish your production plan. And with the addition of your needed team members, your overtime drops to almost zero. The next step in your operational plan would be to review your company's costs line by line for possible savings, as well as considering the additional assets required for you to grow your company to the next level. These new assets are called your capital purchases, and these can consume lots of cash really fast and increase your risk as the owner. Your control panel, your trainer, and your knowledge system will help you keep an eye on preserving your cash as you gear up for growth. And this is just the beginning. Do you presently manage your company with a budget? Only about 1% of the companies I ask this question to say that they do. If you were to choose to manage your company by a budget, do you think it is possible to become 1% more profitable? This is just the beginning of how we will help you multiply your cash flow. This next video addresses marketing. What would it mean to the future of your company if your marketing was performing at 100% of its potential? I can't wait for you to see this. One big reason business owners join the Effective Leader is to know what it is going to take to grow their companies. They want to know what marketing activities will be required, how much they can afford to invest, and what are their best options given their tolerance for risk. These are the questions we are about to address so you can sense the power of the Effective Leader. First, what marketing activities will be required? Upon joining the Effective Leader, we learn some valuable information about your company, such as your average size sale, your company's gross margin, and your sales conversion rates. With this information, you will know exactly how many leads you must create for you to grow your company at the pace you want. There is no more guesswork. Here is the process. Let's say this is your company, and you want to close the gap between your last year's sales of $876,000 and your next year's targeted sales of $1 million. There are 3 ways to create the sales you will need to close this gap. If these are your present marketing activities, and these are the leads you are presently getting from those activities, your first option to close this gap is to simply do more of what you've already been doing. But if you choose to increase your investment in each of these marketing activities, would that always increase your lead generation? Perhaps, but let's say you have optimized those activities. Your second option to close this gap is to add a new marketing activity. You've decided to invest in a social media campaign for $1,500 per month. This is $18,000 for the year. But how many leads this will create is the big question. Let's say that the salesperson who signed you up tells you to anticipate at least 1 new lead for the first month, and she expects your leads to grow about like this. You will anticipate 161 new leads for the year. As we scroll down, you can also see that this campaign, if it does provide you with 161 leads, will indeed close the gap between your targeted sales and the sales you can now expect from all of your marketing activities. So question number 2 was, how much can you afford to invest? Let's see. We turn back to your operating budget and see that your marketing investment has automatically been updated. We can see here that you were planning on the $1 million in sales and that your profitability is still adequate. If it wasn't adequate, you and your trainer simply go back here to figure out how else to achieve those 161 leads needed to close this gap, but do so at a lesser cost. Are you starting to feel the power at work here? Question number 3 was, what are your best options given your tolerance for risk? Here is the third way to close this gap. Let's remove the social media budget and the leads we planned for so you are back at the same sales gap that we started with. Now, instead of doing more marketing, let's say we focus on improving your inputs instead. When you change an input, you change everything. Let's say that your trainer introduces you to a sales specialist who is able to help you impact these 2 inputs. Our specialists will always provide you with 2 very important pieces of information: their fees and the results they will create. You simply drop these into your control panel and see if the investment will pay off. In this example, let's say the specialist fee is $5,000. You plug this number into your operating budget under professional services. Let's also say that your agreed upon results are to help you increase your lead to presentation conversion rate by 5% and to also increase your presentation to sale conversion rate by 5%. You then scroll down to see the impact. You have not only closed the gap, but you exceeded by almost $90,000 what you would have achieved with the social media campaign, where you were preparing to risk $13,000 more. Imagine the positive impact on your cash flow. You can now know what marketing activities will be required, how much you can afford to invest, and what will be your best option given your tolerance for risk. Very soon, you won't be able to imagine growing your company without your control panel. Do you sense the power available here? Well, it only gets better. This final video is the most important of all, as it shows you how everything that you've seen so far will affect your cash flow. And knowing how to plan for and manage growth in cash is what will keep you making confident financial decisions too. Here is a riddle for you. You started the year with $10,000 in cash. Your profit for the year was $137,000. So why is your cash balance at year end not $147,000, but only $65,000? Where is the other $72,000? The Effective Leader promise is to help you understand your cash flow and then help you multiply your cash flow. Let's use the control panel to show you how we do this. The cash cycle of your business starts on your Revenue Forecast tab, which is where you choose exactly how fast you want to grow without putting too much pressure on your cash and other resources. You and your trainer will then evaluate how efficiently you fund your operations. By simply using a budget, you will put more profits on your bottom line, guaranteed. Your trainer will have a very motivational goal for you each month. It is to help you hit your numbers. When your trainer asks you each month, "Did you hit your numbers?" he will be asking if you grew your sales as planned and did you contain your costs as planned. Each month, you and your trainer will drop your actual financial performance alongside your planned performance. So each month, you will get better and better at hitting your numbers, making a profit, and accumulating cash. Your trainer will also show you how to more quickly turn profits into cash. This happens by managing your company's balance sheet. Let's say that you offer your customers 30-day payment terms. This number here tells us that in reality, they are paying you on average in 40 days. Let's say that you cut your payment terms to 25 days, and you now have someone call the customers on the 26th day to train them to pay within your terms. Let's also say that you've been paying your suppliers, on average, in 25 days, but you negotiate paying them in 35 days instead. Going back to your cash flow tab, we now see your cash flow has increased from $65,000 to $106,000 by simply managing two items on your balance sheet. The Effective Leader promise is to help you understand your cash flow, and then as your trainer helps you get better and better at hitting your numbers, you will multiply your cash flow. That is the power of the Effective Leader. Are you getting a sense of why this is called the Effective Leader? I mentioned our trainers have a series of responsibilities. Their third responsibility is to train you in our knowledge system. Our knowledge system starts with strategy and takes you through the various other disciplines of business, which includes establishing a vision and mission, ensuring that you're leading with the most sophisticated management principles, and then the four disciplines of finance, operations, marketing, and sales. Your control panel and your trainer will balance your skill wheel in just 30 days, but what will elevate your success even more over time will be your increasing knowledge. After going through the knowledge system, you might want to increase your knowledge even further, and if so, you can move into our graduate program, where you will be taught by those who have personally grown companies into the billions of dollars. I said at the beginning that you would be given a chance to consider if our three promises were just sales pitch language, or if you thought we could really deliver on them. From what you've seen, do you believe we could help you multiply your cash flow, grow your company, and help you with your ambition of gaining more control over your freedom, travel, and time with your family, as well as overcoming your challenges of developing and affording the personnel you need? Let me show you how easy it is to get started. In the first week, you will receive a call from our coordinator, who will gather the information needed to build your control panel. In weeks 2 and 3, you will meet your trainer, and you will start working in your control panel as we begin executing on our three promises. In weeks 4 and 5, our financial specialist will help you prepare to meet your financial objectives. And from week 6 on, we will introduce you to our marketing, sales, and operational specialists to help you execute your growth plans. So let's recap. We build you a highly customized control panel perfectly tailored to your business. You will attend 4 training sessions to learn how to use it to its maximum potential. You can download and have full access to our 7-part, 33-session knowledge system. And you will receive specialist evaluations of your company by all 4 of our managing specialists. There are no contracts, but we highly recommend that you stay in the program until you have mastered the control panel and you work through some of the basic sessions of the knowledge system. And remember, we have made this program so affordable to guarantee that anyone who wants to participate can participate. So what would keep you from allowing us to help you right now? There is always a great temptation to put decisions off and to take action later. If you are tempted to delay, just ask yourself, what would an effective leader do? Then click on the button below and take the next step, and we will contact you in the next 24 hours. We so look forward to supporting you as you develop the company you've always wanted.